Linda Goldstein here, and today I'm talking to Tom Brinson. Tom is a founding member of my trusted advisor group here in St. Louis. He oversees strategic partnerships for 90, a software development company that is a platform of essential tools your team needs to focus, align, and thrive. Throughout his career, Tom has earned the trust of many national companies and maintained strong client relationships that generate repeat business. He attributes his success to his desire to help others and to forge meaningful relationships. Tom, tell us more about yourself and what you do at 90, okay?
Absolutely. Linda, I appreciate you having me. I'm a St. Louis native. Kind of just give a little backstory on me. Have grown up in the area, have forged, like my bio says, lots of relationships here in our local community. And then really with, my role at 90, I always think of it as what we would call partner growth. So there's really two prongs to, I guess, backstory on 90. So 90 goes to market through two primary channels. One of those is direct to our customers, and the other one is through affiliates, namely business coaches, consultants, and fractional executives. So my seat is built around that idea of partner growth, where partner growth is two-pronged. One of those is attracting and recruiting additional resellers to join our network, whether
Mhm.
that's coaches, consultants, fractional executives, what have you. And the second component is helping our existing channel partners with their business development efforts. So that means a lot of times I end up as boots on the ground at trade shows and events and what have you, in conjunction with one of our partners who may have a booth or a placement there. So those are the two components: grow the network and then help the existing parts of the network to grow their individual practices and kind of evolve into this, what we think of as the ambitious coaches practice, where they're kind of in that growth stage, and we can provide a lot of resources and coaching and training around how to actually build out a modern, ambitious practice for coaching.
Mhm. Yeah, and do you do that simply here in St. Louis, or do you have a region, or what?
Um, So, no specific region. I do some of it here in St. Louis. We're global, so 90s sent me all over the place. Sydney, Australia. I think I flew 41,000 miles last year, so lots of time on the road, away from the family. But it's all part of this mission that we're on. We really do, and I personally truly believe in the mission that 90's on. We are helping small and medium-sized businesses to be more productive, humane, and resilient. So if it wasn't for that mission, I know that some of that travel will be a little bit harder, but I really feel the impact that we're bringing to people across the globe.
Wow, that's great. I was going to ask you what motivates you, what's your why, but that's a good reason to, feel good about your job and feel like you want to do the best you can. So, yeah, that's super. So, you've been really active in our trusted advisor group, and as a founding member, I really appreciate that about you,
Yeah.
among other things. It's apparent that you're involved and you're making the most of your membership. So, could you tell us how being in a Vistage trusted advisor group has been beneficial for you?
Absolutely. So, I mean, the first thing is just being a part of Vistage in general, in being vetted by you, obviously, in my case, gives us access to a lot of folks that fall into our target market when I'm thinking just about 90. Small and medium-sized businesses, typically 2 million to 250 million in revenues. So, like, our ideal client and the group members in most CEO groups for Vistage line up almost perfectly. Personally, though, I've seen a huge benefit from being able to just say that I'm a part of a Vistage community, especially when it comes to talking to business coaches and consultants and other folks. Most everybody that I talk to is familiar with Vistage, or I run into a ton of people that are already members. And it's very disarming when we both go into that conversation and say, "Hey, I'm a Vistage member, you're a Vistage member," and then it gets us through some of that initial trust winning exercise where we're going
Mhm.
right into, "Hey, here's what I envision for a partnership or collaboration," and they bring the same to me, and we already know that the other person's been vetted by the Vistage community. So
Mhm.
accelerated trust, I guess, is what I would call that.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. And it is true that the trusted advisors are trusted. They're
Yeah.
vetted. There's a membership process. Not everyone can get in. And so they are a vetted resource for the CEOs and other members of Vistage. Um, so let's see, looking at your career, what would you want your legacy to be?
So I've thought about this one a little bit, and so I guess we did a recent exercise as a team at a team offsite with 90, and it was the Simon Sinek's "What's Your Why?" Distill out what's your final why. And as a part of that, I came up with the why of using vulnerability to drive others in their own evolution. So that's a big part of what drives me and what motivates me. And then I took that to another step, and I really thought about some of the books that I've been reading, and one of those was by a guy named Donald Miller. Donald Miller talks about hero on a mission. So, in its simplest terms, basically, everybody wakes up and life happens to them. You have a choice to either become a hero or a villain. If you become a hero, you go on a mission. But then once you accomplish your mission, most folks look back, and this is where I want to get to. Right now, I feel like I'm in the throes of my mission. But then at some point, I want to look back and basically become more of a guide and come back for those folks that I touched along the way and help them to advance their initiatives and move forward in their mission. I do think just on the legacy piece, a lot of that ties into, I mean, I think we have a shared goal, you and I, that we really want to see more and more economic revitalization of the St. Louis market,
Mhm.
bring more jobs and more folks downtown. I don't know how to execute on that piece yet. I got to get through this current mission, but I know that that's something
Mhm.
I'm really passionate about. I know I'm involved with the T-Rex Innovation Center downtown, where there's a lot of incubation happening for new businesses and new startups. And so something in that vein, I think, would be kind of the legacy that I'd like to leave is helping other people with their goals, their missions,
Mhm.
stimulate the economy of St. Louis in some way. And some of those details still need to be kind of hammered out.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. I think we do have a lot in common with the why, in the sense that the reason that I love being a Vistage chair is because I get to help these CEOs and trusted advisors be better at their jobs, make better decisions, grow their business, and that makes a healthy community. And
Mhm.
that's what drives me too. So thanks for sharing that. Can you talk a little bit about you are 90, and at your urging, I think, is being a big sponsor for Vistage. You're new on the scene, and we're delighted that you are there. And can you just tell us a little bit about that and how that came around and what it means on a national level?
Absolutely. So, tons and tons of championing internally, on my part, and actually a lot of kind of relationship brokering to make those connections and introductions, meet the other chairs, best practice chairs, master chairs, et cetera. That took the last 2 years have really been working towards this. This year we did formalize a sponsorship program with Vistage where we're going to be at 6 of the executive summits across the country. We're also taking a sponsor role with Chair World so we can get in front of all of the chairs and just share a little bit more about our platform. We're also doing a content syndication of a bunch of different content that is geared towards bringing value to CEOs and other Vistage group members. A lot of that will be talking about, running better meetings, which is a core of what our platform does for folks, crafting the right vision, which is again part of what our platform does is it allows for strategic planning and all that. So it is a massive initiative, and we are really, really excited to be partnered with Vistage in this way. We think it's going to be a great opportunity for both the Vistage community and the 90 community to collaborate. And there's so much like I guess cross pollination that can happen where our clients are primed to be Vistage group members. Vistage group members should, in my mind, be our clients as well. And so it just makes so much sense that it's a place that we would play in.
Yeah, that's terrific. It really is. And I can see you just continuing to grow and grow after you get that exposure
Mhm.
with all the things that you're doing. So I'm just curious because, as you know, I'm not the most tech savvy person in the world, but you didn't have to agree with that, Tom. But yeah, no, you are. But anyway, I'm just wondering, I am fascinated with AI. And
Mhm.
so how does that, do you do anything with that? Does it impact your business in a good or bad way, or is it irrelevant?
No, so AI is very relevant to the work that we're doing. 90 has a AI pod in our development structure. So we have a team that's dedicated to
Oh,
building our own artificial intelligence here in-house. One of the reasons why we didn't decide to plug in with like a third party like OpenAI or Gemini or Bard or whoever is we're really, really protective and sensitive about our customer data. So we wanted to build it
oh,
internally because we want to control what happens with that data. As far as kind of what it spells for the future. So I know we've kind of talked internally a little bit about this vision for what it looks like to have a completely AI guided onboarding experience where you have this AI resource that already has access to, like right now we have 13,000 companies using our platform, but as this continues to grow, let's say it's at 100,000 companies, that the AI is actually trained on how they crafted their vision, how they set their goals, how they run and facilitate their meetings, and it can start adding little prompts throughout the experience when someone's getting kicked off and launching. We're also doing some data aggregation with AI. So because we have so many small and medium-sized businesses running on our platform, we can start to generate very useful data around trends in different industries. Like you'll probably see some publications coming out or publish some data published from us here in the future where it'll say, hey, trends in the roofing industry. We've noticed this, and this, and start to get to that predictive state where we can say, hey, this is what's happening across your segment. These are some changes you can make now to be more resilient against those headwinds that might be coming your direction. So AI is a huge driver for us. You won't see much of it on the platform just yet, but it's coming very soon.
oh, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So, and yes, I appreciate, one of the things that I appreciate about you and the group is that you do help me with the tech when I get befuddled. So thank you for that.
Happy to.
Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to add before I close out?
I think just gratitude. You approached me, like I said, just under 2 years ago, and said you were launching a TA group. I was really, really excited by that, and then just to extend the gratitude. Like I know that I'm a better version of myself for my family at home, for 90 at work, because of the work that we're doing in our TA group each month.
Right.
I mean, there is so much collaboration, there's so much vulnerability, and it really is a safe space that you fostered for someone to come in and say, hey, I have challenges and I need help. And then the group all collaborates and helps us be better.
Well, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing your story with us today. And talking about 90 and how you work your work benefits your clients. And to our viewers, thank you for being with us today. If you would like more information about my trusted advisor group or about my CEO peer advisory group, please direct message me on LinkedIn or email linda.goldstein@vistagechair.com. Thank you again for being with us, Tom, and for all the viewers. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.